Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the image formation by lens. So if you want to find out the image formation, we have to get the position, size and the nature of the image by using the ray diagrams. So if you want to draw the ray diagram, we need few rays, minimum 2 rays we need to draw the image formation. So first we will see which are the convenient rays we can choose it for drawing the ray diagrams. So first ray, the ray which passes through the optic center. For convex lens, we have to mark the focus on either sides, and for concave lens, here also these are F1 and here we have the second focus. Okay, so first ray, the ray which passes through the optic center, it goes undeviated. So we can choose a ray which passes through the optic center. This is the first ray. Okay. Now the second ray which is parallel to the principal axis. The ray which is parallel to the principal axis. So F2, F1, so concave, F1 and here F2. Okay. We know that the ray which is parallel to the principal axis, for convex lens, after refraction it passes through the second focus. So this is our second convenient ray. As in the case of concave lens, the ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after the refraction it goes like this way or it appears to come from this point. So this is the second set of convenient ray. We can choose it for the drawing of ray diagram. Now a third condition, for convex lens, F2, F1 and for concave, F2, F1. Okay. So first condition, the ray which passes through the optic center. Second one, the ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Third one, the ray which passes through the focus. So I am drawing from here the ray which passes through the focus. After the refraction or passes through the first focus, after the refraction it will be parallel to the principal axis. If you are drawing a ray through this direction, it will strike over here and it will be parallel like this way. For concave here also, the ray which is passing through the first focus, so it goes like this way. If we extend, it has to pass through this way, then it also will go like this way. After the refraction, it will be parallel to the principal axis. From this side also, if we extend like this way, then this is the way how it goes. So these are the three convenient rays. From this any two convenient ray, we can choose it to draw the image formation by concave or convex lens. We can divide the images into two categories. Depends upon after the refraction whether the rays are intersecting at a point or it diverges to a different direction. So we can divide it into two categories, real and virtual image. Real image means after the refraction, the convenient two rays, I don't know, the two convenient rays are actually meeting at a point, means that is real image. And if we keep a screen on that particular place, we will get the image on the screen. That is the speciality of real image. And one more thing is that if we consider the nature, always the real image is inverted in nature. So real image means actual rays are intersecting at a point and the image is getting on the screen. If we are keeping a screen on that particular place, we will get the screen, we will get the image on the screen, and always it is inverted in nature. If we consider an example, 90% of the image formed by convex lenses are real in nature. And for virtual image, we feel like, or actually the rays are diverging to different direction, or we feel that it appears to come from a particular point. So if we keep the screen on that particular point, it's not possible to get the image on the screen. And always virtual images are erect in nature or straight in nature. So these are the two kinds of images we get. Now we are going to see the image characteristics of image formed when we draw the ray diagrams. So first condition, this is also somewhat similar like mirror. We studied in last year how to draw the ray diagram for concave and convex mirror. This is also somewhat similar, but slight variations are there. So we'll see the first we will see the image formation as in the case of convex lenses. So once it is over, we'll move to concave lens. So first position. So depends upon the position, the size, nature, and all these things will vary for image. Okay. So first we will see when the object is at infinity. So first object at infinity. Or we know that the object distance means it is the distance between optic center to the object. We used to represent it as u. We can consider it as u is at infinity, or the object is at infinity. Okay. So here we have the convex lens. When we are drawing the ray diagram, we have to mark the optic center, second focus, first focus. Both these distances are always equal. I am not taking any measurement, so sometimes there may be some variation. So I will adjust the position to get the image at the right position. So not only f1 and f2 we have to mark it, double of this focal length we have to mark it here as 2f2. Same way here it's 2f1. Okay. So minimum 4, 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5 notation should be there on the ray diagram. Then only we can assume or we'll get the correct position of the image and object. So first condition, object is at infinity. So I am taking the rays which is parallel to the principal axis. So these are the rays parallel to the principal axis. We know that when the rays are parallel to the principal axis, after the refraction, it passes through the second focus. It passes through the second focus. So for first case, we will get the image on the second focus. Okay, we will get the image on the second focus. And if you see the nature of the image, actual rays are meeting each other or meeting at a point. So it is real in nature, very small or diminished in nature, and inverted in nature. We know that real images are always inverted in nature. So this is a case regarding if the rays are parallel to the principal axis. We'll see if the rays are not parallel to the principal axis and the object is at infinity. We'll see how the ray diagram. Same condition, object is at infinity, but the rays are not parallel to the principal axis. Okay. So here F1 to F2 to F2, F1 to F1. So the rays are striking. I am taking two rays. A ray which is passing through the optic center and the ray which passes through the focus. After here it has to go like this way. Okay, if the rays are parallel, these rays are parallel. One is passing through the optic center and another one passing to the first focus, and after the refraction it will be parallel to the principal axis. So actually I am just changing the position. we will get an image here on the second focus. We'll get the image on the second focus. There also second focus, but is in the same plane. Okay, we are getting it on the same plane. The image will be like this way. Okay, that's our first condition. Object is at infinity. We'll get the image at focus, small in size, real, inverted. Now, what are the uses of this one? We know that we are using this condition to make the fire as a burning glass. We are using the convex mirror to make it as a burning glass. Like we can keep some paper down, and if we converge the sunrise to a particular point, you are very familiar with it. I know very well you are very familiar with that. So we are using it as burning glass. Now second condition. So it was at infinity. Now slowly the object is moving towards the lens. Second one, object is beyond 2f1. The object is beyond 2f1. So in this case, optic center f2 to f2, f1 and 2f1. So here we have the object. Object is beyond 2f1. Okay. So here I'll make a little bit more bigger. Okay. So first ray which passes parallel to the principal axis. So after the refraction, it goes like this way. Sorry. It has to pass through the principal focus. It passes through the principal focus. Another ray which passes through the optic center. The ray which passes through the optic center. Okay. So we selected two rays. One which is parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it passing through the second focus. And another ray that is passing through the optic center, it goes undeviated. So here in between these 2 points, f2 and 2f2, we got an intersection, and here is the position of the image. So when the object is beyond 2f1, image is between f2 and 2f2. It's also real in nature, inverted and small. But comparing with the first condition, it is little bit bigger, but still comparing with this one, small in size. So real, inverted and small in size. If you see the application of this condition of beyond 2f1, we will be using in the case of camera lens. Okay. To adjust the position of a person, we are using it for camera lens to get the right focus when we take the photos. Okay. Now a third condition, now slowly it's coming like this way. Now third condition, now object is beyond 2f1. Now the object is going to be at 2f1. Third condition. Object at 2f1. Okay. f2 to f2, f1 to f1. Okay. So this is our object. First one passing parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, it passes through the focus. Second one, a ray which passes through the optic center. Okay, so we will get the image at 2f2. Image at 2f2. Object is at 2f1 and we'll get the image at 2f2, real in nature, inverted and same size. The size is same in size, or the size will be equal. According to my figure, slight variations are there. Just avoid that. If you take the correct measurement with the scale and pencil, you'll get the right image, right size image or same size image at the right position. I'm using it as a rough hand figure, so slight variations are there. But this is a condition how we have to get the image formation. Real, inverted, and the position of the image is at 2f2 with same size. If you see the application of this condition, when the object is at 2f1 and we are getting the image at 2f2 with same size, we are using it for terrestrial telescope to get the clear image, making the inverted image to erect image. So there we are using two set of lenses. Okay. Now we are moving to our next condition. Now object is at 2f1. Now slowly it has to come towards the lens. A fourth condition, object between 2f1 and f1. Okay, object between 2f1 and f1. Optic center f2 to f2, f1 to f1. Okay, this is somewhat similar. Even when you see the position and the image position, object position, it's somewhat similar like the mirror, concave mirror, somewhat similar, but the applications are getting varied. Okay, now object is between 2f1 and f1. So here we have the object. Okay, here we have the object. First ray, which is parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it passed to the focus. Second ray, which passed to the optic center. So if we see the position where it join, this is the way, or this is the position, we got the rays intersection. So if you see the position, it's image formed beyond 2f2. Image formed beyond 2f2. If you see the nature of the image form, real, inverted, and if you see the size, it is enlarged image. It is enlarged image. So if the object is between 2f1 and f1, we are getting the image beyond 2f2 and real inverted. When the object is coming closer to the lens, the image is moving away and slowly it increasing its size. When it comes towards the lens, image is moving away from the lens, and as it is moving, it increases the size of the image. And if you see the application of this one, we are using this case for slide projector. We know that slide projector we use to get an enlarged image on the screen. But one condition is that the object should be kept. We know that we are getting an inverted image. So the slide will be kept as inverted. So automatically we will get the image in an erect way. Okay. So that is the application of the fourth condition, and the object is kept between 2f1 and f1. Now our fifth condition, object at f1, focus. Object at focus. So this is a lens f2 to f2, f1 to f1. We have the object here. First ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it passes like this way. Another ray is passing through the we are getting the image at infinity. We are getting the image at infinity. So we completed 5 different cases. If you see the cases, the first and the fifth one is just opposite. First one, the object was at infinity. We got the image at focus. Fifth one, object at focus, image at infinity. Second case, object was beyond 2f1. We got the image between f2 and 2f1. Fourth case, object was between 2f1 and f1. We got the image beyond 2f2. Third condition, object at 2f1, image at 2f2. Same size but inverted in nature. So if we compare like that, it will be easy for you to remember all the 5 set of image formation and the ray diagrams. Now we have one more case for convex lens. That is our exceptional case. Till now we got real, inverted and enlarged image. Now we have an exceptional case, that is our 6th case. So 6th case, for the 5th case the object was at focus. Now object is going to be between optic center and focus. Object between f1 and optic center. Okay. f1 to f1, f2 to f2. This is the position of the image. Sorry, object. Okay. So first one, the ray which passes through the parallel to the principal axis after refraction, it has to pass through the principal focus. Second ray, the ray which is passing through the optic center. Okay. So actually these rays are not meeting, but they are diverging each other. So if we extend back these lines, at a particular point, these lines are joining each other. Okay. At a particular point in the same direction or same side, where the object is there, in the same direction, if we extend these lines are joining at a point. It appears to come from a point. We feel that the refracted rays appear to come from a single point. So this is the position of the image as in the case of when the object is between focus and the optic center. If we see the one, we can understand it's not real in nature. It's virtual in nature, it's erect and it is enlarged one. So one exception case is there for the convex lens. We will get the image as enlarged one, virtual image, and it is erect in nature. So this is a last exceptional case of convex lens. And we are using too much of application with this condition as magnifying glass in simple microscope. In biology, you are very familiar to use the microscope. So there, if you want to see any small minute particles or microorganisms, we are using the help of microscope. So we are using this application, the physics, the scientific things behind the physics is applied in the microscope, and you are able to see the enlarged version, enlarged image of the microorganisms or the slides which you are watching under the lens. Okay, so this is the application, or these are the different cases or different image and object position according to different conditions, and for different cases we have different applications in our day-to-day life. Now we will see how the image formation in the case of concave lens. Okay, so here we are considering only 2 cases, likewise how we did for mirror. Same way here we are considering only 2 cases. First one, object at infinity, when the object is at infinity. So these are concave lens. For this one also we have to mark. This is for concave lens. Right side is f1 and 2f1. 2f1. Left side we have f2 and 2 f2. So first one, object at infinity. So the rays are parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, it diverges away from the principal axis. Here also, here, and after that it diverges away. So if we extend these lines, diverged lines, it will come and join a point on the principal axis at second focus. So this is the way, or this is the point where we get the image, as in the case of object at infinity and in concave lens. If you see the nature of the image form, it is virtual in nature, erect, and very small in size or diminished image. Okay, same way, this is the case when the rays are parallel to the principal axis. If you see, now we'll see when these rays are not parallel to the principal axis, but the object is at infinity. So these are concave lens. Mark f1 to f1, f2 to f2. One ray which passes through the focus. If we extend, it will be passing through the focus, and after the refraction, it is parallel to the principal axis. And another ray which passes through the optic center. So if we extend this refracted ray, we will get an object position here. This is the position, and just change it as. So here we will get the image. So this is our second focus. So here in this case also we are getting the image, erect image, virtual image. At the focus, it is also small in size. Now we will see the last condition. Okay. So other than this infinity case, if the object is beyond focus, anywhere beyond focus, where we will get the image, anywhere beyond or anywhere on the principal axis, wherever it is, whether in the same place or between the optic center and focus or anywhere on the principal axis, we'll see where we'll get the image. f1 to f1, f2 to f2. I'm going to keep an object here anywhere on the position just to show you. One ray which passes through the principal, parallel to the principal axis. After the refraction, it diverges away from the principal axis. And if we consider a ray which passes through the optic center, we know that it goes undeviated. Whether it is concave or convex lens, doesn't matter. Any ray which passes the optic center will goes undeviated. So here these are the two rays. If we extend this line, we will get the position here. Okay, so here is our object. So this is our optic center and this is the second focus. So irrespective of the position of the object, always in the case of concave mirror, we will get the image in between focus and the lens. Okay, in between the focus and the lens. When the object was at infinity, we got the image at focus. So as the object is approaching towards the concave lens, the image is moving towards the lens. But the position will be always between the lens and the second focus. And if you see the nature of the image form, small in size, erect in nature. So obviously if it is erect means it is virtual image. So these are the conditions where we are using. And if you see the application of this one, we are using it for spectacles. For people, those who are short sight is there, no? For those people are using an application of concave lens to overcome their eye problem. And the first case, when the object is at infinity, I forgot to mention that. The application of that we are using in the Galilean telescope. We are using that to get the image on the focus. We are using it in the Galilean telescope. So these are the different image formation by using the ray diagram. Thank you.